And I am back like I never left. Welcome back to the channel. Me and Vader we love having you guys come by. So thank you for your participation. There we go. Sometimes I get tongue tied, you know? So the last time we spoke, I was talking about my experience getting to speak with Miss Blue, the Oracle. I hope you enjoyed that story because I enjoyed the experience in both telling it and experiencing it for the first time. Experiencing it for the first time and telling it. Um, so that was a very, very cool, very helpful 45-minute call. It's changed my life. And I think that it will actually change my life for the remainder of my life because that's information that I always have and that I will continue to share because of its inherent benefits. But there was something that happened after that that kind of, not that it threw me off, right? It's just, I think this is just part of the story. It's part of my development. And if we are anything alike, you know, things don't always just go perfectly smooth when you do them the first time or, you know, whatever the case may be. So let me say the words in an explanation. There we go. Uh, so after I talked to Miss Blue and I dropped that 50 pounds that I gained when I first got to Arizona, I was happy because it didn't make sense to me and my physical health is important to me. But there was still the remainder. I still wasn't where I wanted to be. I'm still endeavoring to get to a certain place, like bodybuilder status, you know. Ooh, big monster. Okay, no, not that big. I don't want like big monstrous arms, but I did flirt with the idea of like, oh, maybe I'll do a physique competition years ago when I first got my health in order. Um, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be, and I noticed that okay, there's still kind of something missing. Now, of course, there's still things that I hadn't done that Miss Blue told me, but I felt like there was still something else. Now, as I was going through this process, I started reading this book, and it's called the Silva Mind Control Method, and I was reading it and going through it, just fascinated with the information because you know I love that stuff, right? So I'm fascinated with the information and I'm following along. Now, he usually has seminars where in which you can get the information in like 3 days. You go through do all the meditations and you can learn the stuff in 3 days via the seminar. But I don't think they're anywhere available where I was at, or they were like digital online and stuff. And I just don't like that. I don't enjoy it. I want to go to the place with the people. I don't want to do it over the computer. I don't like that. So I didn't explore that. So I just read the book and I've been doing it on my own. And really it was a 7-week process. Well, 7 weeks for like the initial part, right? But I'm patient, I'm patient and I've got discipline. I got that Capricorn Mars, baby. So I'm patient, I'm disciplined, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing step by step until I get to the place I'm trying to go. So I went to the psychic fair earlier and I still got this thing on. So I'm just gonna, does it clash? I feel like it clashes. So I'm gonna, anyway. So I did the thing. It's a 7-week course just for the initial part to get the basic foundation. And then there's other things that you do. I'm actually still going through it even now. But while I was going through it, you're basically learning about alpha state and the alpha meditation because your brain has different, brain waves that it can access, and you can learn how to be conscious in these deeper levels of mind that affect your subconscious, right? And your subconscious, that's the thing that accepts the program and you subconsciously act on the program that you give, so that you consciously give. So this is very powerful because when it comes to reprogramming your mind for something that actually serves you, or you're letting go of stuff that doesn't serve you, like this is a powerful process to do, to do that, right? So I'm going through it And you know, it's been a couple of months. I still do daily in my meditations, the thing that Ms. Blue taught me. And but I noticed, okay, I kind of got to that point where I hit a plateau, and I was like, okay, I hit a plateau. Now I'm out of the danger zone. I'm far out of the danger zone, right? So I'm happy. I'm joyful. That I'm ecstatic that I'm out of the danger zone. But I still wanted to be better, and I was like, okay, there was still something else, because I was essentially at the weight that I was when I left Texas after I, you know, kind of had some, you know, again, the health journey's been up and down. But after I had some success, and I was like, okay, you know, something was going on again. So I was like, I got to that place of, okay, how do I get past this plateau? And after doing this Silva mind control method thing for 7, 8, 9 weeks, and I was doing some other programming, like how to get into the alpha state very quickly. You know, that took like a week of programming, you know, all these tools that I have, right? So I got to the point where he was telling you about dreams, and your dreams being an indicator, or you can influence your dreams for a certain result. And he tells a story in the book about how there was a man who took his class, and he was just like, he was planning to do, he liked motorcycles. He liked motorcycles, and he liked driving on the motorcycles, you know, riding stuff, very fun. And he's just like, I just want to be safe. I'm going on a trip, like cross country. I want to be safe. And in the dream, he's like, just tell me if there's anything that I should be aware of. And then in the dream, he's at dinner with good friends all around him. And everybody's getting these incredible, like 5-star chef type meals. And he gets a plate of green beans. And this guy hates green beans, right? He hates green beans. And he's just like, what? What's up with these green beans? Yeah, y'all know I like green beans. Y'all got these 5-star chef meals. Y'all got me with some frozen green beans. So he was upset about that, right? So he wakes up at the dream, and he's just like, what's up with those green beans? I asked you to tell me about my safety. You throwing me green beans? So he starts on his journey, right? Starts on his journey, and he's riding, and he sees this truck go past him, and it's a truck full of green beans. Now, this was, you know, I mean, the author wrote this book in what, the 70s or something. He's been doing stuff, so you know, it's I'm sure they ship things differently now, but anyway. But he sees a truck full of green beans. He's doing like 65 miles an hour, immediately slows down to like 20, right? Because some of the green beans that were on the truck were falling off the truck. And he's riding behind the truck very, very slowly, very cautiously. And he goes to turn, and his wheel runs over some green beans, and he slips. Now, he doesn't slip and fall. He just, you know, there is some unsteadiness there. And if he was still going the speed he was going before slowing down, he probably would have fallen off and probably would have had a lot of trouble. Why do I say this? Because the dream state is what he was saying in his book. The dream state, when giving it an instruction, it's like the way that you get it may seem kind of funky, but the message is to watch out for this thing, or is this thing that need help with, or whatever the case may be. And that, you know, saved his life essentially. You know, he could have got horribly injured or worse had he fallen off his bike because of the green beans being delivered. So I was just like, wow, that's very interesting. I'm reading the book, and I'm just like, that's super cool that happened, and that he was okay, but like that he was able, through his dreams, to intuit the one thing that could have ended his journey in a tragic way. So I got to that part in the book, and I was just like, okay. So there was some training with that, and I was just like, all right. So after about 2 weeks of doing the dream training kind of thing, I was like, all right, I'm ready to try it. I'm ready to see what goes down. So basically my question was, yeah, I'm at this point, like I'm feeling a lot better, but there still feels like there's something missing. There still feels like there's a blockage or something that's kind of, you know, in my way. And I'm just like, I want to have a dream that's going to explain to me what's actually necessary for me to get past this plateau. So I go to sleep, and during the course of the night, I have a dream, and all I see is me like this, but I'm kind of blackened out. So it's just like, you know, well, darker than this. I'm like a shadowy for me, and I'm seeing a representation of the 7 chakra system. Although in human design there's 9, but you know, whatever, the 7 chakra system as it stands, you know, today. and my solar plexus was lighting up. So there was something to do with my solar plexus energy not flowing properly. And that's all it showed me. And I woke up and I was like, oh, my solar plexus is blocked still. There's the flow isn't happening the way it's supposed to. Now, I was having like digestive problems. I would eat food and it would take me a long time to digest it and stuff, and then, or I would get a little belly because I mean, obviously you eat food and it just kind of sits in your intestines and stuff. So like, there's the energy of that's not flowing right. So whether it's because of the manifestation of my ego not expressing itself properly, or just like the energy is stagnating. Like I was doing things, I was with my energy, but I needed to focus specifically on the chakras, right? Especially the solar plexus. You know, I was flowing energy through my body like Ms. Blue taught me, but I need to focus specifically, bring more to that area, right? So that's what I started doing. And I started doing that, and then I felt the pickup again. I felt my body respond to that. And it's been, well, what's it, December 4th? December 4th, happy birthday, Jay-Z, and all my Sagittarius out there. So it was my solar plexus. And I started to pick up, like I was like, oh, okay, it's working again. So over the course of the last, I want to say month and a half, this is the last month, I've noticed some significant changes. Like I've been able to get the way my clothes fit. I've got clothes in there that I bought that were too small and now they're too big. And I hate having to keep buying clothes and stuff like that, because I really like these one sweatpants that I have, and I can fit them, but they're too big. And I know that as I continue to shift everything, they'll be too big, and I might get to a point where it's like, okay, I just keep them and hold on to them because I like them, but they're too big. But your shirts that I have, I'm just like, okay. But it's cool because there was that continuation, and that also taught me that these things, I mean, again, like Ms. Blue said, flowing your energy, right? The energy stagnated in your body, and that having such a profound effect on who you are, who you be, what you do, how you feel. And it's just like, there could be something else after the solar plexus thing, right? So I was just like, well, I'm going to do the solar plexus, but I'm going to work on the root, the sacral, the heart, the throat, the ajna, the crown, all of them, and get them flowing, because I want everything to be the way that it's supposed to be, right? I want everything to work the way that it's supposed to work, because as I've learned, the energy around who you are and how you're carrying yourself, the things that you've been holding on, since childhood, maybe in utero, and maybe from a past life, all that affects who you are right now today. So it's super important for things to flow properly and that you're not stagnating anything, because it affects how you be. And we're going to see people, we're going to get tests, and we're doing all these things. And, these things are, I think a lot of these different treatments like sound therapy and I went to get acupuncture and I did all these things, and they're good for sure, but they're also external. I think this is the other thing that's extremely important. There is a need for us to be more feminine in our energy. The listening to our intuition, listening to ourselves, the things that come from within, right? Versus more masculine, or the external things, or what we're doing on the outside. But the important things is like what we're doing on the inside. And this is what I'm really, really beginning to understand, is like our energies are out of balance. And when they're out of balance, like it causes imbalances in our physical vessel. That's the difference between, somebody who's healthy on the outside and the inside versus somebody who just has one or the other. Like there's a balance, and you really have to pay attention to it and be open, be open to it, so you can get the result that you're wanting. And that's what I did. So it was really cool. I enjoyed the Silva mind control method. I'm reading through the book. I'm still not done as far as like going through the exercises and stuff and learning new things, because I some of the things that the people are doing are just absolutely incredible. But it's things that I've heard of before, years ago. And I was reading this book that I got um, when I was in Afghanistan, just reading through this stuff, and they were talking about the Alpha State and the kind of stuff people were doing while in it, and just like it's super fascinating, right? But it's just like we have these abilities, we all have this ability, but we are out of sync. We don't take enough time to nurture our creative side, our feminine side, the right brain, to actually do this thing, because we're so drawn up, we're so caught up in the masculine side, the hustling, the doing, and not the sitting still, intuiting, not the sitting still or creating or imagining things. They say that the drop off in use of imagination from the time that we're like 7 years old, before we're 7 years old to after, it's just like, I can't remember the numbers. It's something I heard years ago, but it was just like 80% or 85%. Just like a ridiculous drop off. And like, again, the imagination having such paramount importance to your psychic abilities, your intuitive things, how just how you go through life in an intuitive way, listening to that part of you. So it's just like, there really needs to be a big focus on getting back to that. Even doing things like using your left hand or your left foot, and because of just the connection with how they say like the mind works with left hand, right brain, right hand, left brain. I need to get out of the logic and be more into my intuition. I've got plenty of logic. That's been doing logic for 30-something years. Let me focus on just the intuition, the creativity, this silliness, the wacky stuff that doesn't make sense, but like it makes sense in another way. So I will keep you up to date on the Silva Mind Control Method stuff. It's very exciting, very cool. I've got more to that. I'm going to add some more on that. Maybe next time or in the future. We're going through a transformation, people. Things are transforming. Me and Vader here. Me and my snaky, me and Sheila. Well, y'all can't see Sheila, but things are gonna be looking different. We're transforming, so just don't be shocked, right? Hang in there with me, right? Stick around, because things are gonna get crazy as I'm moving into a new time in my life. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me during this time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's me and you right now. This is our time. I don't know. But again, thanks for watching. There's going to be more, because there's always more, because we're living in the ever-present now. That's how it works. We're not in the future. We're not in the past. We're in the now. We change now. We affect things right now. So again, thank you for watching. Gratitude ad infinitum. I'm Johnny Jupiter, and remember that there is no outro. I'll see y'all next time. Peace!